In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install the Rudy ENB mod for Cathedral Weathers with Zangdar's edit. This is also an exact sequel to my how to set up Skyrim for modding video, so if you haven't watched it, go ahead and check it out now. The link will be in the description. But if you haven't seen it, this video can still be used to install ENB mods. So let's get started. So now that we have our essential mods installed, we are going to be installing 2 additional mods before we install the ENB mod. Open up your web browser and go to the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch. Files and download. And if you have the Anniversary Edition upgrade, you are going to go into description, scroll down, and click on the unofficial Skyrim Creation Club content patches. Files and download. When that's done, go to your mod manager and activate these 2 mods. And the next mod that you're going to download is the alternate start to live another life. Files and download. And when it's done downloading, go ahead and install. So what we are trying to accomplish by installing alternate start is so that we can jump into the game skipping the intro. That way we can make sure that our mods are stable and that our game is running smoothly. So let's go ahead and start the game now. When you get into the game, you're going to click New Game. Go ahead and create a random character. It doesn't matter what you name him. And head over to the statue of Mara and activate.
Approach, my child.
Now it doesn't matter what you choose, but I'm going to choose a patron at a local inn.
Which inn are you a patron of?
And I'm going to click on Dawnstar.
Even the lowest among us can rise to
Once
greatness.
that's done, exit and head over to the bed, and your new game will start. Go ahead and make your way outside.
Listen to your friend.
And what you're going to be doing out here, click no on survival mode, is basically seeing how smooth your game runs.
You've come to Dawnstar at a strange
So
time.
try to remember what this feels like, because we're going to come back to this save file once we install the ENB mod. And you can talk to NPCs,
harass the caravans at every step.
you can take a nice long stroll through Skyrim just to make sure that your game is stable and it's not crashing. Once you're done doing that, go ahead and stand next to this snowberry bush and point your mouse cursor at the top of this building and go ahead and turn on the Steam frames per second counter if you don't already have it on, and take a look at what your frame rate is currently. I am using a RTX 2080 and I'm also recording, so this card is more than capable of handling Skyrim Anniversary Edition at 165 frames per second. But because I am recording, I'm getting about 126 frames per second. And we're going to come back to this exact same spot after we've installed the ENB mod, and we're going to see just how much ENBs drop your frame rate. And then go ahead and exit your game. Now let's go ahead and open up the Rudy ENB for Cathedral Weathers mod page. And we are going to scroll all the way down to where it says download the latest public ENB binaries, and middle mouse button this. This will take you to the ENB website. Click on news, scroll down to download, and then select Skyrim SE and click on the newest version that is available. Once it's downloaded, go into your downloads, open the file after you have extracted it, open the wrapper version, and then go to your mod manager, select open game folder, and this will open up your game directory. And now you can go back to your downloads folder, and the only thing that you need to drop over is the D3, D11 DLL and the D3D compiler. And that's it. Your ENB is installed. Go ahead and close these 2 windows out. Next, let's head back over to the mod page and let's start installing each and every mod that is required for this ENB. And let's go ahead and start with the SSE engine fixes. You can middle mouse button this to open the web page, and make sure you download the AE version of this mod. And also download the SSE Engine Fixes Part 2. This is a manual download. Once that's done, do the same thing for ENB Helper, middle mouse button, open the website, Files, and download for AE. And you can go ahead and repeat this process for each and every one of these downloads. Open the EVLAS mod page, Files, make sure you download the main plugin and download the Skyrim underside mesh as well. Next, go ahead and download the particle patch for ENB, then download Embers XD, then Obsidian Mountain Fogs, then Water for ENB, Cathedral Weathers and Seasons, and then go to the download sections of the Rudy ENB mod page, click on Files, and download the Rudy ENB Cathedral Weathers add-ons and required files. Once that's done, go back to the Files page and manually download the Rudy ENB ZW Zangdar's Edit Lux Edition. Now go back to the main page and scroll down and click on Lux. This will bring you to the Lux main page. Go to Files and download Lux. When this is done downloading, go ahead and download the Legacy of Dragonborn update patch and also the Lux small update. Once this is done, go over to the description page, click on Requirements, and middle mouse button Lux Via. Lux Via is needed with Lux, so you can either use this mod or you can use the resource pack, which is required to use with Lux, and you don't have to install Lux Via. But if you are using Lux, you must use either the resource pack or just go ahead and download the entire Lux Via mod. I am going to use the Lux Via mod as it adds cool things to the roads and bridges, so I'm therefore going to use Lux Via. Now that all of our mods are downloaded, let's go ahead and install them. And let's start with SSE Engine Fixes. Check the plugin, go to your downloads, select Part 2 Engine Fixes, and go ahead and copy all of these files and put them into your main game directory. And you are done. I already had them installed, so I went ahead and overwrit them. Next, let's go ahead and install Cathedral Weathers and the Cathedral Weathers MCM. Next, Obsidian Mountain Fogs, ENB Helper AE, Particle Patch for ENB, and click on the installation type of BSA, yes for ENB Helper, and yes for custom textures if you would like to use them. Install. Next, install the Embers XD mod. Click on Embers XD Flames, High Quality, and Normal Particle Light Intensity. And click the Standard option. And all of these options are, if you want them or not, I am going to go ahead and install all of them. Next are some more options. Select which ones that you would like, and scroll down and select Reduce Flame Glow, and next. Now these are all of the compatibility patches for mods that you may want to use in the future. If you do plan on using these mods in the future, just go ahead and rerun this faux mod and then install the compatibility patches. Golden Hills Plantation is part of the Creation Club content, and we're also using Lux Via. And install. Next, go ahead and install the EVLAS and the EVLAS underside mesh, I like to rename these files so that I know exactly what has been installed in my mod list. Next, install water for ENB. I like to use the Mineral Teal plugin, but the mod author says you should use Shades of Skyrim because other ones have not been tested. So this is up to your choice. I do not use Legacy I need. I go with the default level of detail, 4K textures, and these options are also up to you. I like to use transparent 4K, more customizations, if you would like clear interior water, clear underwater, and more compatibility patches. Remember, if you're going to be using these mods in the future, you can still rerun this and checkbox these compatibility patches. And make sure to mark the Rudy ENB for Cathedral Weathers. And install. Now let's go ahead and install Lux. Go ahead and look at the optional effects and choose what you would like. I'm going to run through these options really quickly, but go ahead and take the time to look at these and see if there's any that you would like to use now or in the future. Now go ahead and install Lux Legacy of the Dragonborn Update patch, rename, and the small update. Next, go ahead and install Lux Via. If you plan on using blended roads, go ahead and checkbox this now. And then finally, the Rudy ENB Cathedral Weathers required files faux mod. Now that you're done installing all of your mods, go ahead and run loot and sort your master plugins. Now the very last thing that we need to do is to go into your INIs folder, select Skyrim prefs.ini, and hit Control F to bring up your find key and type in BSAO and enter. What you're looking for is BSAO CS enable equals 1. So change this to 1. Next is BSAO enable equals 0. And look for B enable improve snow. Put this to 0. Look for B volumetric lighting enable equals 1. This is correct. And then B use 64 bits HDR render target equals 1. And this is correct. Next is B draw land shadows equals 1. Set this to 1. Your F gamma to 1. This is correct. And your BDO depth of field to 1. This is correct. Now hit File and Save. Next, open up your Skyrim.ini folder, Control F, and search for FF first. And you're going to change the F first slice distance to 2896. And go ahead and save. Next, go into your main games folder and go into your downloads and open up the Rudy ENB ZW Zangdar's edit. Skyrim SE folder and copy all of these 3 files into your Skyrim main folder. And the very last step that you have to do is click on the ENB local INI and make sure that disable fake lights is set to true, which it is. And we're good to go. Close everything out, then let's run SKSE. Go ahead and select New Game. Create your character once again. And go ahead and press Shift plus Enter to open your ENB series menu options. And you're going to go ahead and go to ENB Post Pass Effect and disable letterbox bars. If you like these on, then keep them on, but I do not. The next thing that you're going to do is click on Enable Frames Per Second Limit. Make sure this is unchecked. And I like to disable lens, and disabling this will not put anything on your screen for added effects. And then click Save Configuration. And then hit Shift plus Enter to close the menu. Let's go back
my
into
child, and choose
the
where
local
your new
inn.
life shall begin.
Dawnstar.
Even the lowest among us can rise to greatness.
Come on in. Just stoked to find.
And as you
Good
can
to see you
see,
get the
the
cold
game
down.
now looks
It's a
great.
curse. It has to be. I've got to get out of this town.
The ENB is now installed, so let's go check out the outside. Alright, so let's go stand next to our snowberry bush. Put our mouse cursor here, and as you can see, I am now getting 51 frames per second. This is all the way down from 127 for a total loss of about 76 frames per second. This is quite a significant drop from running the Rudy ENB mod. But frames per second aside, we now have our ENB mod installed and our game running smoothly without any crashing. You now have a great base to start with, so any mods that you install after this and your game starts to crash, stutter, or have bugs or frame drops, you know it's not from the ENB's mods or the ENB. Well, that's it for me, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and good luck on your modding ventures.